Welcome back, everyone, to the welcome to the Round Square Table podcast. Good day, everyone. We are joined today live by Mr. Josh, who happens to be a ghost on the screen right now, Miss Raven, and myself, Tony. Go ahead and give us a follow and like here live on Twitch if you decide to want to catch us here. Can't catch us here, catch us live, or not live. Catch us on YouTube on the links provided and also on Spotify to catch up on any kind of casts we may have done or any kind of the shorts we decide to do. And all the other happy fun stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, do what you want to do. We can't tell you what to do, but please do. Either way, here's it is what it is. So hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
So explain, Josh, why are you so dead to the world today?
So Tarkov has taken back over my life.
Oh, great.
Oh goodness.
I was up till 1 or
This
2
begins.
last night, and I was back up at 6.
Sounds like you might need some coffee there, buddy, which kind of leads into this
You
fun
know I don't
little
drink
fun.
coffee.
I know you don't, but still.
Don't
Coffee
push
is
me.
good.
No.
Coffee is light.
No.
It's good for the
Coffee.
bones.
I don't really know about the bones, but
You can take
if
eggs.
you if
No.
but
Keeps me
freaking at
sane.
work. Yeah, but at work this morning, I went to go get some Starbucks because ironically enough, where I work, there happens to be one there. So highly convenient, but very bad. But it is what it is. It's still good. Freaking a
When
lady
you're
in
an
front of
addict.
me. Yeah, I'm addicted. Leave me alone. But
Same.
there's a lady that was in front of me, and recently some of the Starbucks have the Nitro Brew, which is more of like a stronger coffee, I guess, from what I've been told. This
Mm-hmm.
lady, it's like, okay, I walk up and the people are making her order and everything like that. She brings it up and it's like, yeah, it's like, wow, like your coffee was a little bit cheaper than mine. It's like, well, because one, I work here, so I get a discount. So there's that. Plus what you got a little bit more than what I get. So yeah, the freaking goddamn nitro brew she got. Again, a stronger blend of coffee. She got 5 shots of espresso in it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 5 fucking shots of espresso.
There's
Like, how?
there's an addict and then there's fiend.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's beyond fiend because you got a strong blend of coffee along with like almost quadruple charge of like it's like going Super Saiyan like God mode on coffee, freaking espresso.
That's
I mean,
like
I like. Go ahead.
it's like 10 pots of coffee in one cup.
Almost. I mean, I love coffee. Don't get me wrong, but like, goddamn. I mean, usually when I get coffee too, just like there, I usually do like just a shot myself because it's a nice little boost. But god fucking damn. Jesus
See,
Christ.
see, I'm one of those crazies. I will get 2 shots of espresso, but yeah, 5 is overkill.
How you do not have
Although
like a freaking cardiac arrest after that, after a bit, is beyond me.
although I will say my husband probably would get that exact same amount of shots of espresso added to it as well. Well, it being black, not creamered.
Yeah.
My husband hates creamer.
I mean, to each their own. I mean, I've been slowly kind of like adding a little bit less creamer each time. So I usually do like 2 scoops of sugar.
Oh
Like,
God,
well, it's not that
sugar.
much. Yeah, progressively I add a little bit less. So like at one point I'm probably just gonna add like one, and then I go mostly coffee, like then the 2 scoops and some creamer. So like I'm slowly kind of like phasing it out. Slowly. Very
See,
slowly.
I've never been one to really do scoops of sugar in my coffee. Now, like if the creamer already has it mixed into it, there's not a whole lot I can do other than just drink it and suck it up.
A lot of creamer has sugar in it. Most of it, not every single one, but most of them usually have a small amount. I think.
See, I generally get like the shelf stable ones, and they're
usually do.
usually like that what is it called? Nut Pod, I think is what the brand is called.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And
That.
Yeah. Shut up.
you just but yeah, I don't think they add sugar to it. And if they do, it's very, very little.
All right. Well, with that one, I think you're going more of like the natural route, I think. So probably not as much, I would assume. I don't really know. I haven't really read the label. But I usually do the Coffee Mate or the International Delight sometimes. So I think those ones have more of the sugar in it, I think.
Oh, I definitely know those have a lot of sugar in them. I
So
do them every now and then because they're cheaper and I'm a
yeah,
broke hoe.
usually. God. Wow. Just wow. So yeah, you should have just had some coffee, man. You should have just sucked it up and just drank some
Well,
coffee.
Coffee is good for the soul.
Tony, you've seen what coffee has done to me.
Well, because you need to actually eat some
Embrace it more.
food along with it, because sometimes, yeah, coffee can go through you if yeah.
Jackass, that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, you might have to
I'm
remind me, sir.
talking about the literal third-degree burns,
Oh
scars on
boy.
my
Oh,
body.
yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
How did you
yeah.
manage that?
Coffee.
Must have been
It,
throwing it on yourself like a bath.
Uh,
that it was
and a
back in the
sort.
day, like way back. I didn't even know him back then, so when that went down.
Raven, here's a fun way to put it. How old's your littlest one?
My littlest one
Mm-hmm.
would be a year old.
So I was 18 months old when this happened.
Yeah, he's less than that.
Yeah.
He's only crap.
But again, toss on 6 months, and that was the age I burned myself with coffee in Canada at a campsite with my parents from basically my jawline down to the diaper line.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a pretty good reason not to touch coffee. Thank you.
Yeah, I've scolded myself many, many, many times, but coffee is life. A little burning. It is fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, when you have literal traumatic memories and like phantom pains from it, because you still have third-degree scarring and nerve damage from it, yeah, no, you kind of don't move past that.
You know, I have a lot of scarring too.
Uh huh.
It's mostly mental.
Yeah, this was literal physical.
I mean, in a sense, I have some literal burns too, but those, we don't talk about those.
And
Well,
let's not talk about those.
I was gonna say, like, it's not a comparison thing whatsoever. Like, everybody has their own issues. Mine just happens to have happened when I was so young. In fact, I don't even remember it happening. Nor do I remember the little boy sitting in the burn ward with in the same room as me. Again, this is Canada in like the mid 90s. And apparently Canada at the time, at least in the Ontario province where this happened, was experiencing a spike in mothers burning their children.
Oh boy.
The little boy in the
Weird.
bedroom in this medical room with
Like
me had been lit
like
on
a Britney
fire.
Spears moment.
No, like his mother lit him on fire with gasoline.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need clarification.
Okay.
Mother didn't want the son anymore, so she lit him on fire.
Is that not how you disown children?
Well, no. You
It
don't
was to my
attempt to
understanding.
commit the
Ultimate sin?
I got really nothing to say on that. That's not just
pressing
no.
pause on somebody. Yeah, no. Yeah, like there's a
Okay.
difference of putting pause on them existing with you versus ejecting the tape from the VCR.
Oh
I
boy.
just I
Yeah.
vote we just change the subject. So
Oh boy. That hurts the
I
gut.
vote we just change because
We both
that went a little more further
that,
than I expected.
that got so dark
Tony, the
from
worst
just a cup of coffee.
Tony, the worst part, you've heard that story.
No, it's I mean either if I have or not. It's been a very hot minute since I've actually heard it or something because that's new to me.
Yeah, no, like my mom was telling it to you a couple years ago.
That's probably why I don't really remember because
It was one
it
of
was
those
like way
suppressed
back
memories you
when.
don't want to remember.
I would assume, yeah. I'm like, why am I being told this? And for what reason?
I think
I
it was
don't need to
when,
know this.
if I want to remember right, it was on one of the trips that I basically was like, "No, you're coming with me, and you don't have a say in the matter."
So
That was a lot of them, honestly.
Uh huh.
So, that's a hard one to pin down.
you didn't narrow it down very well.
Well, I could narrow it down, but to not dox somebody, I'm not going to.
Fair enough.
What did you do?
You just
Got
committed
Tony
mass
out of a very
suicide.
shitty relationship.
Oh boy. Why is that half the podcast already?
Hey, don't worry, it wasn't his fault.
Apparently, a lot of things were my fault.
Yes, yes, Tony, they are. You are a
How
man.
dare you?
Accept it.
It's just, I don't know why that
You
just
are a
reminded me of
furry
SpongeBob.
Pokemon. You will accept your punishment.
I mean, currently as my image person, yes, I'm a furry Pokemon, so you are somewhat correct, yes. If you can guess all
I
three
got
of
too
them,
many
then
jokes right now in the
I get
back of my head.
ha ha ha. But if you can guess all three of them, I'll get you a high five.
You won't give anybody a high five anymore. You don't even call.
You don't even write.
Because you don't listen. You don't listen anymore. You
Wow.
just don't care.
Just, wow.
God, don't wow me. You know, you understand.
Yeah, that you like being walked around on a leash. Yes.
Oh.
I thought that was you. No, actually, no, you like being walked around on a leash and getting spanked.
Oh
Eh,
boy.
everybody enjoys a good spanking once in a while.
Oh
Eh.
boy.
Now, notice everybody at home. Neither one of them argued that fact. Neither of them.
Well, neither did you either, so.
Eh.
It's
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
The episode where SpongeBob shattered his butt
Oh,
and
yeah.
he had to literally avoid anything and everything, and they had a friggin'
Yep,
huge
yep, yep.
spanking machine.
Oh, yeah. And Squidward got in line. It's like, is this where the line starts?
Oh, that squid.
Squidward knew. Squidward knew. Squidward definitely knew. We're all Squidwards at some point down the road.
I'm currently
You
living that
know,
life.
I mean, we all are.
But Tony, go ahead, tell us about your bad dragon deception.
My bad what?
Your bad
Hootie
dragon
buddy.
obsession.
My bad dragon exception?
Obsession, yes.
Dragon.
I mean, dragons are kind of cool, but
You know,
I'm not.
no.
I'm not really sure where you're going with this, sir.
Are you actually playing dumb or
Oh boy.
I'm a little
Tony?
lost,
Tony, why
honestly.
don't you use that laptop there in front of you and look up bad dragon?
Oh boy.
My God,
I'm scared.
Raven, you
you
know
make
what
me
it is,
do
right?
things.
I do not, and I'm scared to know.
Too bad.
I'm looking it up as we speak. I'm scared before I even get it in the Google
Oh,
search.
gotcha. Yep. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Ha. You just assume that I want the dragon. I would assume that you're the octopus.
Oh
Just
jeez.
And that says Raven's not looking at him.
I'm not looking at them. I just put it in the Google search, and well, my husband's gonna be like, "Excuse me, ma'am."
It's like, what is this?
Excuse
Like,
me, ma'am.
hmm.
I'm only gone for a couple months, man.
a couple months is a couple months.
Tony, they even have ones that are keychains for you.
Oh boy. Something tells me you
Oh,
went
it's on the
extensive
go.
into this.
You know, you really gotta go. You gotta go. Jeez. I mean, convenient, sure, but like, okay.
Tony, they even
Wow.
have
Just,
RPG
just
dice
no.
sets for you.
I'm just gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say it's not Tony's obsession. It may or may not be your obsession.
Oh God,
So
no.
you're saying it's your obsession?
Me? No.
No, not you. Her.
Oh, absolutely, it's Ravens. I just wasn't trying to target her directly, Tony. Targeting somebody is not okay. I don't know if you got told this. It's not okay.
So if I got you in my sights with a sniper rifle, it's not okay.
No.
Oh boy.
So you're just gonna. So if I'm like 500 miles away, and I see
Tony,
you
I'll
in
get a
my
stick of
sights,
the mouse
clear as
pad.
day, and then I'm just gonna randomly get a call from you out of nowhere, and it's like, dude, come on, that's not okay. I'm like, how the fuck do you see me?
It's like, don't worry about it. It's
I
like, I
see.
play a lot of Tarkov. Don't worry about it.
I can believe that. So I'll give you that one at least. I'll give you that.
Like, I play too much Tarkov. I spot people a lot.
Finding them doing things in the bush.
Oh boy.
Which actually
We don't talk
reminds
about
me,
the bush.
I need to edit a video when I stop with the stream tonight. Yay! Fuck.
Oh, if someone's gonna edit a video, then I gotta edit this one.
I have
Which
like
room?
13 hours of fucking video I have to edit.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of editing, dude.
Tarkov's been pretty nutty.
Gotcha.
No.
Boo! Get off the stage!
Exit stage right. Get out here. God, why?
Boo!
Ah! Hard laughing
Get off the
hurts.
stage!
Get off the stage! Ah! Wah.
Uh, hard
No,
laughing. It hurts
she's
so
gonna
bad.
she's gonna come back on the stage with a mop and start mopping, and we're all gonna start cheering.
Like, yeah, clean up your shitty performance.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez, I didn't
No.
think you'd be taking it that hard.
Hello.
Apparently you tanked it very hard. You tanked it bad.
Didn't
I
say
don't know.
thanks.
Get off the
Well, it
stage,
is
young
now a
man.
thing.
Get off the stage.
I'm already off the stage. I was never on stage.
Yeah, and sit there and be quiet.
Eh, eh.
Exactly.
You can't tell me what to do.
What about?
I'm my own man.
I mean, good for you. So,
I mean, nobody's discounting that whatsoever. But
Okay.
nobody cares.
Well, fine then. I'll go stand over in Narnia. They care about me.
Is that what the furry creatures named Tony told you?
I didn't tell her jack shit, dude.
Apparently, she's talking to somebody.
Well, she's talking to the imaginary ghost that's in this empty slot that's next to us.
Uh-huh.
Just sitting there empty, wondering what the hell's going on. Wondering and debating what life is.
I debate what life is.
That is not surprising.
Is it
No,
even worth?
is this the real life?
Or is
Or is
this
this,
just fantasy?
we're all caught in a landslide?
No escape from reality.
Speaking of reality, how's your reality so far? What you've been up to? What you've been doing?
Who, me?
Yeah, you, obviously.
Oh, living, breathing, burning calories.
Well, breathing's good. Living, I guess, not too bad, I suppose. And calories, why are you burning calories?
Because I officially started the gym. And
Oh,
I finally started that journey. And I tell you what, I, I started regretting my life choices the moment I woke up this morning. I went hard at the gym yesterday. I found out I officially can do 60 crunches.
60 crunches before dying.
I did so much yesterday. I did like 60 crunches. I did, what was it? At least 50 or 60 crunches on 30 pounds, mind you. And it's my first time doing it, so it hurt like no tomorrow. Um, I did about 50 leg curls on about 30 pounds. I did about 50 chest presses on about 30 pounds.
A lot of math.
And I did leg presses as well on 120 pounds. About I want to say at least 60 or 70 of those. And then I got to hang out on the stair stepper for the final run of the rest of the gym.
You got to climb stairs.
Yep. Tell you
What you
what,
had,
I was feeling great when I left. But yeah, I
wait, don't
woke
you have
up and
stairs?
felt like I done fell out a plane and smack dab to the earth when I woke up.
Well, yeah, usually the first couple of days, like first week of a gym is usually the roughest. Because you're like using a bunch of muscles you're not probably not really used to using very much.
Given I'm generally a couch potato, you're not wrong.
God, I'm not sure when's the last time I went to a gym or even really attempted to do a gym. The only thing I remember doing any kind of lifting wise was back in high school for I think I did weights for one of the semesters.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I remember. Yep. Didn't you do some too? Didn't you do weights as well?
No, I did regular gym. I never went and did the bullshitty McGee of weights. We had the
Hmm.
like 1 day a week where we were quote unquote supposed to be lifting weights. We did it like 5 times, and that was it.
Hmm.
And like the entire semester, I'm like, oh, that makes me sad.
Well, yeah, I remember
See,
doing
see,
that.
I remember doing that in school, but they kicked me out of the gym after like 2 weeks of going to gym because
Why?
apparently when you're in band, they highly suggest you not be in gym. They like get the fuck out of here. We don't want you. I don't understand because like I just started gym, and 2 weeks after that, they were like, "Get the fuck out. You're a band geek. Get out of my gym. You don't need to do gym." And I was just like, "What? Band geeks don't need to have physical
Oh,
body strength?"
I guess because depending on the band, especially how long you're in there, um, depending on what you're doing, they have like the drill sessions and everything like that. So like if you're doing like people who are doing color guard along with it, and then like if you're doing the marching band kind of thing for the sports and all that, like the different formations, because I know there's the band camp thing too, which makes it where you practice music and do all the drills there too. So that's
See,
like
but I
pretty
never did all
physical.
that.
Then
The
what the
only
hell did
time
you
I
even
ever
skip
did,
gym?
the
That's
only
kind of
thing I
weird.
ever, the only thing I ever did while I was in band was when I occasionally would have to practice, and then we'd play at the football games. That was all the extent of anything I did in band. That
Didn't
was
we
a
need
physical
didn't
thing.
yeah, let's say like didn't we actually need like a gym credit or something at all, like at
No, if
some
you were in
point?
band, you got away with it.
Okay.
But you had
Well,
to
I
And
do
should
I
have
it
gotten
for
away
like
never
with
at
it.
least 2
understood that
years.
because don't
Okay,
band geeks
fair.
still need the strength and such for their like overall health?
Uh, yeah, but
It's
I don't
more
know.
the instead of having you basically killing yourself, and you're gonna have to bleep that, Tony. But instead of you basically going crazy and shit like that, like you basically get told, "Hey, you already are doing something that will essentially do this. You don't need to do this a second time."
But like I would have loved it because I got to do the whole weightlifting thing a couple of times and I freaking loved it. And then they kicked me out of gym and I was just like, what the fuck? As soon as I like something. And so from gym I ended up going to crap, what's his name? He did the performing arts class.
Oh yes,
I couldn't really tell you the name, but I have an idea what you're talking about. So yeah.
I went to his class anyway, and I got so much emotional trauma from that.
emotional damage.
I was about to say. I love that dude.
So see,
Too good.
so like I loved him as a teacher. He was great. But the things he would have us do in that class, just like the one project, my mom was so mad at me for having to ask her the freaking question and to answer this question because I had to ask like 5 people in my family this question. And it literally made my whole family just irate. It was if I were to die, what would you say at my funeral?
Good riddance. I mean,
Kind of questions. About damn time.
And then we had to proceed and write our own eulogy. And
fuck.
Well,
I was just kind of like,
I think the teacher was planning something. It's like, well, it looks like you're not going to be seeing your kids for a good little long while, so
Hey kids, do you want to come
what are
over?
the famous last words?
You want to come to a dance and have some punch?
Oh no, no,
That's what
Oh,
that
no.
sounds like. You kids want to come have some punch at a dance later?
No, no, no. We're gonna stop it
It's
there.
oh.
it's encouraged by the school.
Nope, 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 nope.
It's called prom.
Oh no.
Oh, I tell you
Why?
what, it took a while for my family to get over that situation.
Hmm. I wonder why.
Yeah, I would really wonder why. I'd probably question the teacher, like, what the fuck question is that? Like,
And we had
Nobody
to ask
seriously.
should be
five
asking.
people. We had to ask 5 people in our family this question, and I was just, I don't want to do this. And if
You could have
we,
just bullshitted your way through it easily. You could have just wrote something different for each one without even ask.
but like, I've always been one to do the assignment. But my parent or my family wasn't the only one that was mad about that either. Like half the school dang near was coming at that teacher.
Hey, I would assume so. Like, I would say, like, nowadays, it's like, yeah, no, no.
And then
That
of
teacher
course
would have
there
been
was
out
this,
the door, like, as soon as you can even answer or even say that question and be out the door from the outrage and backlash from the parents.
and then of course I recall him like doing another like in class activity thing where he had us all line up in like 2 lines and had us all like do the whole 2 steps forward if like you never got this growing up. And
Oh, yeah. I actually remember doing that too with one of the teachers. I
and,
forgot which
and
one.
he ended up getting really deep with these questions
Yep,
and literally singled
yep.
out so many kids. And legit, I got singled out so many times, and I was just like, I fucking hate you. I
Yeah,
fucking
I
hate all of you.
think I got to skip all that with being at an auxiliary school instead of being like base classes being at Port Huron.
And of course, like, it was a required thing, so in order to have all the credits I needed for graduation, although I got kicked out my senior year, so it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, I remember that
Same.
thing.
So I
That was weird.
just threw it all away.
Well, I almost got kicked out. Almost.
Now you had enough credits though. You could have gotten to repeat just like a semester.
Uh, that was like barely enough to kind of like go. If it wasn't for the whole fact of like the old thing after school stuff and whatever the hell that thing was called.
Be 2020.
Yeah, that.
Hey, 2020, I remember that.
Yep, I had to do a lot of that.
Yes, you
I
did.
had to do that on top of night school.
I never had to do any kind of night school. Thank God, no night school. I think I only had to do. I went to summer school twice,
I went to summer
but
school
was
as well.
for the second time I went to summer school, it was for ELA credit, and I don't know why, but it's not like I wasn't paying attention in the classroom. I just didn't care to do the work because
See, that was me.
I just didn't give a fuck. So like, but going to summer school, I knew everything they were doing. The only thing I didn't really do too good was with one. I forget which one it was, but I flew by that class, no problem. I finished actually like almost close to like 3 weeks early, but I couldn't leave because if I would have left early, that wouldn't count. So I actually had to still go to the school, but since I was already done with everything, I was just able to play on the computer and just mess around because I was already set and done. So I already knew everything, and I just wrote everything down, bullshitted my way through enough where I was good to actually still know what it was and had it make sense. So I don't know. I just don't like being told what to do, especially at school. I'm like, do this work. Fuck no. Fuck you. Do it on my own time. Fuck you.
Shoot. I literally had to do so much night school, summer school, and friggin' E2020. I busted my butt making sure that I would have enough credits just to get kicked out. Literally 6 months before graduation.
Yeah, see, my like last 2-3 weeks of like my senior year, I'm like, they're gonna kick me out. I finished up tech that me and Tony went to, finished that up, and then would just, as soon as the bus would get back from tech, would step onto the property and would walk home. Like, I didn't
I
even go
wanted to
inside the
go to
building.
tech.
I literally just got off the bus, left.
Yeah, I would actually wonder why. Were you there was a couple times where I just actually didn't notice you or see you very often sometimes. I'm like, where the fuck did you go?
No, that was my senior year, dude. You weren't there.
That's right. Yeah, I
I
wasn't
would
there.
literally show up at your door and go, "What's up?" Like, what the fuck are you
Hello.
doing here? It's noon. Like, I know. Let's go play games. Okay.
Okay. Pretty much. I remember that, yeah.
I
Actually, I
mean,
remember, go ahead.
so that was my favorite fucking like experience ever. Was 2 weeks into my senior year, our whatever the fuck counselor, whatever the fuck they were supposed to be, our safety person, whatever crap.
Yeah,
Safety
whatever, yeah.
my ass.
Well, they called both of my parents because my parents are divorced and were split at the time, going, "Hey, your son's not going to graduate. You should pull him out and put him in adult ed. Like, now." This was 2 weeks into my senior year. Both my parents were like, "Josh, you want to go or do you want to say fuck them?" I'm like, they can go fucking suck a chode for all I give a shit. I'm finishing tech. Tech was the only thing I was enjoying with school.
Yeah, tech was fun. I remember tech.
Tony, you didn't see my senior year. You know all the books, I'm gonna fucking drop his name because he was an awesome teacher. Mr. Emming had at like behind his desk for all the
Yeah,
CAD stuff.
right.
I did every single one of those books,
Oh, I know. I remember you telling me about them.
and how I spent like my entire second senior semester just being a teacher's aide, just fucking off, doing nothing but like helping teach other people how to do shit.
Because you did most of the other stuff. I mean, I was pretty much doing
I had the
for
entire
my
curriculum
senior
done my
year,
junior year.
because you enjoyed it very much. I pretty much had all my stuff done by almost close to the end of the junior. Like, I just finished up a little bit more in the senior, and that's when I started doing like the CNC stuff a little bit myself. But I still did some of the machining things because I just wanted to do the machining things, and I was learning the grinder too.
Yeah, I mean, I had gotten to a point that Mr. Emming was bugging me, going, "Hey, you should go take this test. It's $100. Bug your parents to go take this test." It was to get certified in fucking Mastercam. That they apparently do like 100 applicants from schools and they never are totally full, like every year. He's like, "Go take the test. You'll ace it. Just go do it." Yeah, at the time. And for all you people at home with kids and shit like that, not even talking like you, Raven, like, encourage your kids to go, "Hey, I want to fucking try this." Tell them yes, okay. Especially if it's a test. Like, you want to do this? Okay, here's the money. Go do it.
See, I would always, when I was in band, that they would always do the whole like, try for this, you'll get scholarships, and I would always tell my mom, I'm doing it.
Well,
No
that's what.
ifs, ands, or buts, and
Yeah, it never hurts to try for those kind of things. You never know. I mean, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Worst case scenario, just try again.
Well, it's like
Learn from it and try again.
Mr. Emming knew I wasn't going to graduate high school. He knew it. He knew I was going to get kicked out, and he knew I was just finishing the program. And I was taking my diploma from there and leaving. Right? He's like, "Look, if you take this without a high school diploma, you can still go get a good job doing CAD design. Like, you already have the experience to do it. Just fucking take the test. You'll have 2 years of experience doing machining and everything else. Just you walk into a shop going, "Hey, I did this as a class for 2 years. Here's my certification." You'll be hired at most shops almost immediately. It's like, yeah, but that's a job. I don't want a job yet. That was the worst
See,
mistake I ever
I
made.
distinctly recall trying to get a job at 15, but my mom was like, "You're gonna have to walk. I'm not driving you." So I never pursued it.
It knew me. It was just I didn't want a job because that meant having to actually go listen to people that I didn't want to deal with. I wanted to go home and play video games.
Right.
I
That's
didn't have
pretty
that
much a lot of
luxury.
people. That's jobs for you.
I honestly did not want to be home 90% of the time.
Honestly, I'd rather would have had not been myself. A lot of times I was actually chilling with you, Josh.
I know.
I was mostly more over at your place
Okay,
A lot
type
of
that
the
thing,
my
times I was
place
hanging out
being
with
like
you.
4 or 5 doors down.
right? But again, I was mostly home alone most of my goddamn day. Like my dad, at that point in time, he was doing more of like the middle shift to like close to night shift. Like he'd
Mhm.
be like 2 to 12. My mom was doing 2 jobs. My sister was pretty much already out the door because she was pretty much chilling with her friends, staying the night there. Literally, like she was still in school, but they went to the same school, so obviously she'd just be able to get a ride to school. So I'd be home pretty much right after school,
She was more
doing
constant.
absolutely, yeah, to an extent, but with actual like friends and everything like that. So yeah, I was pretty much home alone until almost close to 9, 10 o'clock at night, pretty much just by myself. So hence why I was mostly with Josh half the time. It's like, dude, I'm bored. For the love of God, just I need someone.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm just over here playing Oblivion. You want to come over and watch? Okay.
Sure, I don't care. But
Yeah,
that's how
shoot,
I learned how to.
y'all
Go ahead.
recall me popping up everywhere. Pop up over at your house, pop over at Josh's house. Never wanted to be home.
Mm-hmm.
At home life was honestly miserable.
I mean, I
It's more
think at
boring.
that time in everybody's life, it is horrible because we're hitting that weird. We were hitting that weird change in like the dynamic of the family, of where, all right, you're going from being a child to you are a human being in this house. You're going to contribute to being. Hey, you're an independent person. Get the fuck out.
See, but I don't know if y'all recall my dad.
Yeah,
That was fun. Dealing with all of that on top of my own shit going on. And then, well, even more shit going on that Tony had saved me from. Hey, go Tony.
woo.
Yeah, I'm over here saving Tony. He's over here saving you. Who are you saving?
A
Yeah.
very good question.
What's that?
That's a good question.
What's a good question?
If I was saving Tony and Tony was saving you, who are you saving?
Uh, uh, the squirrels.
And that, folks, explains why she's gone nuts.
Oh God! So
You're
that's where all
welcome.
the acorns went off to.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
down,
Sorry,
down wherever.
watching you
sorry
play
for the
games is
zoning.
no, you're good. But watching you play games though kind of helped me a little bit. So when I started playing like my own version of Skyrim, I kind of knew what I wanted to do and how I wanted to build it. So how I learned certain games. I used to watch my dad back in the day because he'd play a lot of games on the Xbox and everything like that. So one game in particular, uh, let's see, it was Final Fantasy 12 that he was playing, and he went all the way through. He beat it, and I decided to give it a go because I like Final Fantasy, obviously, and Final Fantasy 12 actually is my one of my more favorite ones. I pretty much looked at what he did in the game, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it my way. So I kind of cheated, and I didn't leave like when you're more able to run around and move around and do things, and you had, I think her name's Pinello in the party. I'd go
Mhm.
around just in the beginning areas. I got them all up to about level 25-ish. And there's a special ability for all of the characters. They're called quickenings. They're like really big, high magic-based damage you can do. And if you do enough of them, the special attack at the end happens if you chain enough of them. I had all three of his Vons and all three of Pinello's. And what's cool about this, when you get a new party member, this thing called LP, which is the license points. It's what helps you unlock other things you can do for all the characters. All those LP you gain go to those characters that you unlock and actually finally acquire into the party. So once I got Bosch and Ash, I was able to pretty much unlock a ton of shit for them, get all their quickenings, and just go ham on everything. It was just horrible. It was fun. It was bad, but fun.
Most bad things are pretty fun.
Now, actually, what's really bad is there's this. It's another game, but it's called Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, and it's a good game. Actually a pretty good game. It's for the PlayStation or PS2. For whatever reason, so I was watching my dad play this too. He played it all the way through. For whatever god awful reason, he went through that entire game is relying on the pure base stats. And what I mean by that is normally when you level up on certain games, you get like little skill points to kind of help like put into your character, like extra strength, extra health, all that other fun stuff. So
Mhm.
like he did not know that. He saw these points that were chilling there, but he never invested any of those points at all throughout the entire
Oh.
game. So he relied completely on just whatever level up bonus he could get and just the equipment and the armor and the weapons and whatever damage he can do from the abilities. Straight up, all the way through until the very, very end.
Hmm.
Extreme very end. Until he finally clicked it by accident. It's like, wait a minute. These points actually invest into this shit?
I could have beefed myself up.
Literally. So he decided to like reload the game back from a previous save and just invest all those points where he wants them to go. And needless to say, he had no issue beating the game like within like 20 minutes, like beating the final boss. Because just yeah, it took him like 3 hours to finally kill the final boss just with raw pure stats. So that was a pretty fun thing to watch. I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
pretty
You know,
hardcore in my opinion.
speaking of your dad, I seen just the other day he got a fancy new D&D book.
Oh yeah, I actually need to get with him on that because there is a character I need to get on and finish up. I gotta ask him a question about that actually. So thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I just remember seeing because I only see his posts every now and then, and that just kind of clicked in my head when you had mentioned your dad, and I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, because right now he's got me in one of his online things, I believe. And the character I built so far is a rogue thief. And it's, actually, no, I think it was like I think it was either a rogue thief or it was a rogue archer. It was one of the two. I have to look at it again. But I wanted to originally do a like rogue, or it was either a thief architecture, whatever the hell it's called. But in other words, it's pretty much just like you're like a spy thief person, but you use gadgets. So pretty much like things like think like James Bond almost, where you have like all the fancy gadgets and you can do a bunch of things, and you're a thief. So artificer, that's what it was called. That's what it was called. So with my next level up, I'm actually, I think, able to add another class. So that's probably what I was going to add on. Because it seemed kind of fun.
See, I miss playing D&D, but I don't know anybody here to play with.
Oh, dude, you should. What was your D&D build that you did, Josh, with that big ass shield?
Oh, Paladin.
Yeah, dude. Please explain that to me again, because when you explained it to me the first time, I'm like, dude, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it.
So the build was a basic, like, bog standard paladin who was just slightly oversized, so he carried larger equipment. Didn't really use swords or anything like that, just more was defense orientated to kind of tank and heal. Well, had a really bad luck of dropping his shield onto people's toes to crush them.
Oh, not the toes.
Now, Raven, when I say larger than normal weapons and equipment, his shield, like, this character was meant to be like 7'5" and just stacked. Like, straight muscle, everything, right? The shield was bigger than him, tall and wide.
Oh my.
The shield was supposed to weigh about like 700-800 pounds. And that was
In other
with
words,
the assistance of him, like, doing enhancements on himself to make it lighter. But as soon as he would let go of it, it would regain the full weight. Which, if I'm remembering roughly and correctly, it was supposed to weigh like a little over a ton.
God. So as soon as it would drop, boom,
Yeah, so
this big old.
literal ton with a sharp blade on the bottom to be a guillotine, essentially, and just tunk. Ah! My toes!
They ain't your toes no more.
What toes? You don't have toes.
But would constantly fail, like, check rolls. Like, to hang out with whatever. He would go to set it down, lean it against the wall. He'd have to skill check to make sure he set it down lightly enough that it in at the proper angle so it wouldn't fall over. Well, the one time it fell over and it killed somebody in his party inside of a tavern.
Oh, jeez.
And it cut a table and a chair in half.
That's too good.
Sorry.
And it's just... And the entire time my guy is just sat there. Oh, please, Father, forgive me. Forgive me for I have sinned again. Just
Sinned
repeating. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. God, forgive me. And because he's a paladin, he can heal and do all this other magical bullshit. But because he's also a man of God.
I bring you back to life?
No.
Oh, balls.
No, think our modern day church. So he has no problem going around and collecting money from everybody, going, it's God's fee.
So.
Pay into...
We can bury this man.
Pay into the church. Pay into your God. So he always had money. And it wasn't that he used it for God or anything else like that. He upgraded himself so he could be a essentially walking temple to God.
Oh.
And because he had no weapon other than his shield,
Damn shield.
he didn't have to have the what is it, dexterity for actually getting a proper swing with a weapon. He just had to. I let go of my shield. Oh shit!
I think your toes.
I mean, there were like a couple times I ran this character through a dungeon. The guy's like, "Okay, and Kobold attacks you." I'm like, "I dropped the shield." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I dropped the shield and I light it on fire as it falls." Why?
No.
Like, okay, roll. 19. Okay, so you flambéed the kobold. I picked the shield up. I wish to check to see if the kobold is cooked. Why? It's like, I wish to check and see if it's cooked. Okay, roll. 17. It's not cool.
It's
It's like, I throw oil on the shield, light it on fire, drop it on it again. Why?
Nope.
Why?
I want to make sure it's dead. It needs to be
Drop the shield
flambéed.
back on there. I'm like, okay, now I wish to pick the shield back up again. Still on fire, though. Okay, roll for damage taken. Okay. 1. You take no damage. The fuck?
Neato.
I checked the kobold. Okay. 20. The kobold is cooked. Nice.
Oh.
I wish to eat
And
the
then I
kobold.
left the kobold.
Oh.
Okay. You just wanted to make sure it was thoroughly cooked and like, all right, I'm gone. Yep.
One of the other guys I was playing with was a beast tamer who only fed cooked meat. Because it's all
so you're
this
just
one creature used and ate was cooked kobold.
No.
I gotcha. So you're just helping your friend out. It's like, dude, you don't understand what I'm trying to fucking do?
No, so like couple turns go by and it's like, okay, I go back to retrieve the kobold's body. Like, why? It's like, well, our beast tamer's dead and I need a way to fucking get this thing to follow us. Like, okay, roll for it to follow you. 1. It attempts to attack you. Defend yourself. 20. Your shield falls on him and kills it immediately. Fuck.
Too powerful. Too powerful with the shield. So I remember you saying that there was a fatal flaw with your shield. That happens sometimes if you were to fail too many times.
I can drop it on my own toes.
Oh. Not the toes.
And you said it would cast thorns on itself and you would just fall on top of it and die.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Apparently that was his only consequence for having such a insane shield. I remember one time you told me it's like you would cast thorns on the front of the shield and then you would cast speed on yourself and you would just like ram things into the freaking wall.
Yep.
Like beep beep. Like I'm a truck.
Yeah, and it's not like the shield was anything like super special. It was literally meant to be a door off of a fucking burial tomb.
Oh God.
Like
Those doors are pretty fucking huge though.
exactly. And that's what my guy literally took a fucking axe with a fucking rock and chipped it down on size and then struggled to lift it and then found God through it. And that's how he acquired the shield.
Or
So by chiseling away at something meant to be in the burial grounds,
A
he
holy
struggles.
burial grounds, fucking door. I just go, I'm just gonna rob this. Oh my god, it's heavy. Chip, chip, chip. God, help me out here, fam. You got it.
bro.
Boom. Yes! Yes!
Josh has obtained the power of God.
I got a door.
Like, it only had the ability to grow vines because it was a fucking burial door in a fucking abandoned graveyard that was meant to be a holy site, on top of which.
Well, that should make sense. Explains
The
why I grew
amount of
vines.
people who've seen that character sheet and just, like, was reading through it are like, why the fuck is your guy only equipped with a shield and no armor? It's like, I don't need it. It's like,
You want to know? Watch this. Lose
any yeah, and any time that anything would really try to attack him, it's just like, no, bro, just no, no.
Don't even go there.
It's not gonna happen, man. It's just not. I'm
like,
just gonna hear like I'm just gonna feel like a small little dink, and I'm like, oh, was that like a little mosquito or something? Whatever.
well, and
Brush it
Raven,
off and just
that
keep
was like
walking.
the best thing because it's a fucking door that I'm carrying around on top of it all. There's not a fucking slit for me to see through, so I'm just like blindly walking. So I had a movement distance extreme reduction unless I was with somebody. Like, normally I would be able to move like 8 to 10 spaces. With a shield, I can move 3 if nobody's there with me. If somebody's there with me, I can move up to 6. Because it's more
We just have
like
to have.
they are fucking pulling me going this way. Yes,
We
boss.
got you like a little chain rope. Let's go, buddy. Come on. Ding, ding. Okay.
Yes, boss.
God.
But it's
If you're
like,
sending in the heavy artillery, you'll send in the shield. Like what? Send in the shield. Oh God, not him. Yes, him.
Hand in the door.
Send
like
in the door.
what ended up killing that character as a whole and made him totally unrevivable was we went into a dungeon to go kill a dragon
Fun.
that had been terrorizing like the entire realm. Like would just show up and exterminate villages. Like wouldn't eat them, just
Exterminate.
exterminate. Like
Flame
fucking
broiled.
more like charred fucking scorched earth policy.
No joy.
Yeah, like old enough dragon that when it's spitting fire, it's actually melting rocks.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
like yeah, he's not a nice guy. Well, we came up with this concocted idea of launching me with my shield from a trebuchet
No. Oh,
at the
snazzy.
dragon. Well, the guy who was put onto loading the counterweight for the trebuchet, because we actually did the math for it, it ended up being like a little over 1,800 pounds because of me holding the shield. He ended up overloading the counterbalance because of how trebuchet works. It's held in place by a pin. Once you pull the pin, the counterbalance pulls it and slingshots it like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's a mathematical formula. I wish I could remember it like perfectly. He ended up putting like 18,000 pounds of counterbalance.
Oh, yeah. No, no,
So
no, no, no,
it
no.
ended up shooting me almost at a 85-degree angle at the fucking dragon while it was flying.
Oh.
I ended
So, in
up
other words,
hitting the dragon while riding the shield, cutting its wings off, and then impacting the mountainside, dying from the impact.
Oh no.
so the dragon technically, yeah, its wings are cut, but it can still be alive.
Yeah, it like I quite literally flew through its back, like cut right above its spinal cord, Like, wing, spine, wing. And hit the side of a fucking mountain and died. Because I had to roll 3 20s, all of which had to be a nat 20 every
No
single
bonuses.
roll in order for me to survive.
And that's probably with, like, even if you did survive, it'd be like, and probably like an
Critical
insane amount of
condition.
critical low health.
Well, I asked the
Where if you
DM, it's
weren't
like,
attending
okay,
too
what
soon.
happens if I get all 3? Well, if you get all 3, we'll figure it out. I got 2 of the 3 ways there. After the first one, he's like, all right, your shield, while you were holding your shield, you slam further into the mountainside, drilling a hole with your shield. I'm like,
Boring a hole into the mountain.
okay, cool. The second one, you have fallen into a cavern while holding your shield. The third one, I hit a fucking 3. You accidentally let go of your shield while falling into the cavern, and you have beheaded yourself.
No.
Although some of the fact they have no armor, you have really nothing to protect you, so...
At that point in that campaign, I was wearing, like, full-on, like, best armor I could, and still being able to move. It just literally cut through my armor, through my neck, and kills me. It's like, fuck!
You went down the goddamn bang. That's one way to go, I guess. Literally.
Like, so what was gonna happen here if I fucking survived all 3? He's like, you were going to land on your shield and ride it like a surfboard down the inside of the cavern wall.
Yo.
Like, bruh, that would have been awesome. Yeah, you killed yourself. Now be quiet.
Cowabunga, dude.
Like,
You would have lived like Larry, man. You would have definitely lived like Larry.
My entire party ends up dying because this fucking dragon, now on the ground, more a salamander versus anything with no wings, fucking just torched everything for the next, like, 50 square miles around it and melted the fucking earth.
Standing perimeters. No survivors.
I mean, it was like a 40k exterminatus. Just, no, we're going to turn it all to glass. We're going to be done with it. We're going to kill the planet. And I just looked at him and went, so who fucked up the loading? Because I climbed in there and I had to do that on a 14 or better. And the rogue's like, yeah, I rolled a 1. Like, so you, what, doubled the weight? No, it ended up being 100 times the weight. Like, wait, what? So I just got shot out like a fucking missile. Yes. Like, okay. Literally, like, I had to sit there and do the math. I'm like, so my ass was flying at like Mach 7 in plate armor with a 2,000-pound shield.
In other words, you broke the goddamn sound barrier, from what it sounds like.
Yes! Breaks the sound barrier, fucking slams into a mountain. That's not what kills me.
In other words, they were like a fucking Jericho missile coming down. Hearing the crack of the mountain, and it's like,
it's just, what the fuck?
And I'm dead. Well,
oh, here's the worst part. I wasn't even on the same continent. Either. Like, no. They slung my ass so hard at this fucking dragon. Again, 85-degree angle. I was meant to be at like a 70-degree angle to hit it in the fucking body to cut it in half. Or at least mortally wound it down. And then still would have to roll to save myself. But I got flung hard enough, ended up so far away in a different continent's mountain that
You didn't stand a chance.
the
Yeah, there's
DM
definitely
made
no.
us roll new characters for a new campaign and ended up having this fucking mountain that had a hole the size of the dragon in it, and inside was my fucking decapitated corpse.
Oh, time to loot.
But my body ended up getting cursed because I was killed by a blessed item while being a paladin. So it ended up causing a curse effect on all of my equipment, and you couldn't touch me. You want to know how we found that out? Was the rogue went to loot my body, and he fucking killed himself.
Wow.
Because as soon as he touched the armor, his other hand reached and slit his own throat.
Oh boy.
Wow. Oh, I get it,
Oh,
because
God,
you got
missing.
decapitated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And the DM was like, "Are you sure you want to try and loot his body?" Because he could see my coin purse on my hip.
I was about to say, like, a keyword and good advice for anyone out there who has DMs. When they ask you straight up, are you sure? That is sometimes, not all the time, but most of a good time, is a big, nice, little, gentle warning. Just sometimes just don't do it. Because just don't.
Just
Well,
say no.
this DM, on top of which was like flat out told the guy on a sidebar, like over a text message, and was like, "By the way, that body is 100% cursed. No matter what you rolled, you were going to fail a skill check."
Oh.
Because that body was so epically cursed from what it had done, because
Like a curse.
it was covered in dragon's blood that had this fucking body count of billions, on top of a paladin's shield, which was a holy site door, which has now been totally
Gotcha.
contaminated, and the
Right.
paladin himself has been killed by it. And they're just like, the guy was like, "Huh." As soon as we all heard that, we were like, we're leaving and not coming back.
Never coming back.
There is no returning.
Well, with that being said, I think we should wrap it up here.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Perhaps indeed. So, from all of us here at the Round Square Table, we would like you to all say thanks for joining us here live today. Feel free to give us a bit of a follow, like, comment on here, or to, catch us live or catch us on Spotify or YouTube with the links provided there below. Give us a comment or like down there too. Subscribe if you want. Do what you want. That's for you. It is what it is. By all means, do what you want. And all the other lovely, fun things. Hopefully, the podcast should be up within the next couple of days. So, for YouTube and Spotify. Once we're done here. So, with that, Mr. Big Ol' Shield Man, you cursed ass motherfucking body that we will never ever dare touch.
Can't loot you.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, just don't. And, yeah.
Die!
Boy.